In the frozen silence of North America's remote northern forests, something stirs when the wind grows still. The trees stand like silent sentinels, and the snow muffles every step. In this ancient, untouched wilderness, people whisper of a creature, something older than time, colder than death, and cursed with an eternal hunger for human flesh. They call it the Wendigo. Tonight, we plunge deep into the myth, the madness, and the mysteries. We'll unravel its terrifying origins, examine real historical accounts, and share chilling encounters from those who claim to have come face to face with the beast. This is more than a legend. This is the curse of the Wendigo, hunting the flesh-eating beast. The story of the Wendigo isn't new. It comes from the oral traditions of the Algonquian-speaking tribes, including the Cree, Ojibwe, Innu, and others who have lived for centuries in the vast forests of Canada and the northern United States. They tell of a spirit, a monstrous, cannibalistic entity that was once human but became something else entirely when driven to desperation and darkness. The Wendigo is not just a creature of the flesh, but of the soul. According to legend, the transformation begins when a person commits the ultimate taboo, cannibalism. In the bitter cold of winter, when food is scarce and survival becomes uncertain, a man might be tempted to feed on another. But such an act carries a terrible price. Once the flesh is consumed, the spirit of the Wendigo enters the heart, and the transformation begins. Descriptions of the creature vary, but most agree on one thing: it is terrifying to behold. Some say it towers at over 10 feet tall, with skin stretched tightly over bones, skeletal limbs, and eyes that burn with hunger and madness. Others speak of antlers like a deer, a symbol of its connection to the wild and its departure from humanity. Its skin is said to be decaying, frostbitten, or even fused with the ice and snow itself. But perhaps its most terrifying trait is its appetite. No matter how much it consumes, the Wendigo is never full. It is this insatiable hunger that defines the Wendigo. It is a creature of greed and consumption, a symbol of what happens when humanity crosses a line that cannot be uncrossed. The legend is a warning, not just about cannibalism, but about the dangers of selfishness, isolation, and losing one's moral compass in the pursuit of survival. But these aren't just stories told around the fire. There are real cases, documented events, that suggest the Wendigo legend may be rooted in something much darker. In the late 1800s, a Cree trapper named Swift Runner was tried and executed for the murder and cannibalism of his family during the winter of 1878. The chilling part? He was just 25 miles from a trading post, stocked with food and supplies. He didn't need to do it, but he did. When arrested, Swift Runner confessed, claiming an evil spirit had overtaken him. The local tribes believed it was the Wendigo. Authorities chalked it up to madness, but many remained convinced he had been possessed. Psychiatrists in the early 20th century even attempted to diagnose this phenomenon. They coined the term Wendigo psychosis, a rare condition in which individuals develop an intense craving for human flesh, even when other food is available. Symptoms included nightmares, depression, and hallucinations, culminating in violent, cannibalistic urges. While some experts today debate whether it was a true disorder or a cultural myth, the fact remains, people believed in it enough to document it. But the Wendigo isn't confined to history books or tribal lore. Sightings and encounters still happen today. In the vast wilderness of Minnesota's North Woods, hunters have reported encountering something unnatural. One man described seeing a towering, emaciated figure watching him silently from across a frozen lake. He said its eyes glowed, and that despite being motionless, the creature seemed to radiate a kind of hunger. Others have heard screams, long, hollow cries that echo through the trees, far too unnatural to belong to any known animal. In northern Ontario, a group of campers claimed to be stalked by something during a weekend trip. On the first night, they heard heavy footsteps circling their tents. On the second, they awoke to deep claw marks carved into the bark of nearby trees, 8 feet off the ground. The third night, one of them swore he saw something staring from the woods, thin, pale, eyes like embers, and antlers like bone. What's striking about these encounters is their consistency. Across decades, across borders, and among people who have never met or heard each other's stories, the same details emerge. The antlers. The gaunt form. The terrifying eyes. The sense of overwhelming dread. Some believe the Wendigo is more than a creature, it is a spirit. It doesn't always take physical form. It infects thoughts. It whispers to the weak, to the desperate. It waits for the cold and the hunger to set in, then it offers a deal. And once accepted, there is no going back. This idea, that the Wendigo represents the darkest parts of the human soul, makes it even more terrifying. It's not just about being hunted. It's about becoming the hunter. Modern interpretations have even tied the Wendigo to broader themes: capitalism, environmental destruction, addiction. The Wendigo has become a metaphor for greed, an insatiable force that takes and takes, never giving, never satisfied. It is a reflection of what happens when we consume without restraint, whether it's nature, people, or even our own humanity. But if such a creature exists, can it be stopped? Tribal lore offers limited options. Some say the Wendigo can only be killed by fire, its icy flesh incapable of withstanding heat. Others say the only way to free a Wendigo-possessed person is through ritual, led by a shaman who must call forth the spirit and banish it. But these rituals are rare, and those who know them are fewer still. The real danger, they say, is not the Wendigo itself, but that we might not recognize it until it's too late. It could be in a neighbor who suddenly withdraws from society. In the hiker who vanishes without a trace. In the man who, when winter comes, disappears into the woods and never returns the same. So what should you watch for? A chill that doesn't match the weather. A voice calling your name from the trees, when no one else is around. A pair of eyes glowing from the dark. A feeling of being followed, even in complete silence. If these things happen, you may already be too close. So next time you're walking through the forest and the air grows still, and even the birds fall silent, don't ignore that cold feeling crawling up your spine. It might be the wind. Or it might be something else. Something watching. Something waiting. Something ancient. Something cursed. The Wendigo is always hungry. If this tale has chilled your bones and stirred your imagination, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the darkest legends from around the world. Drop a comment below if you've ever experienced something unexplainable in the woods. Who knows? Your story might be the next one we uncover.